What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Two Knicks Chicks. I'm your girl, Lady, and the Chef, and I'm joined by my co-host this evening.
Devalox 21, what's up?
It's Thursday. It's getting closer to the weekend, Divalox. The Knicks had a chance to close out against Philadelphia on Tuesday. Um, I don't know, what did you have the Knicks initially? Did you have them
I
like five?
had them 4-2
So
because I
instead,
kind of, yeah.
okay. Yeah, I figured it would be 6-2. Knicks would beat Philly in 6 games also. I think, like most of us Knicks fans, we were hoping that the Knicks would have been able to finish this series, close it out for a few reasons. This way they could have gotten the rest that they needed. One, two, it would have been nice to do it at MSG at home at the Garden, which hasn't been done. The Knicks haven't been able to close out a game in a playoff series in years now. Um, and I know there was some people who kind of had some like comments and feedback on, the Knicks having alumni there, and they felt like, why are they there? But I'm like, what does that matter?
But
They're
they're there
support,
all, they're there all the time. This is not anything new.
right,
So,
right.
like,
That's just
they may
how,
be saying, oh, they were starstruck and,
but
no.
that's how former New York Knicks players do, regardless. Even when the Knicks were
Yes,
playing bad, they were still showing up and doing that. You don't really see that with too many other teams, former players
yeah,
doing that, but with the Knicks, that's just what play. It's something different about New York.
yeah,
It's a different. It's the mecca. It's something different, and that's what our players do. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
They're even in the regular season, they're there. So it's nothing
Right.
new.
Right. Exactly. So I do want to recap Tuesday's game. The Knicks lost in overtime, 106-112. The Knicks still have control of the series. They up 3-2. Um, First quarter, Knicks got outscored 26-17. Second quarter, New York Knicks found their rhythm. They outscored Philadelphia 32-17. Third quarter, it was quite close. Philly scored 26, New York had 21. Fourth quarter, it was damn near tit for tat. Philly had 28, New York had 27. Now, before we even get to the overtime, it led to overtime. If you could refresh my memory, how we even got to the overtime, because I don't even remember how we even got there. I was so distraught and I was so annoyed at the Knicks. I was. By the time the overtime came and it was me, it maybe with a minute left, I was annoyed by that time. Probably a minute and a half in the OT that I was annoyed. And I was annoyed that we even got to the overtime. But do you remember how we got to the overtime? I can't even remember off the top of my
Well,
head.
Maxie tied it up.
Right.
Um, Deuce was trying to fight over the screen, and the chat could chime in with MB, and Mitch is out in the perimeter, which why he was out there, that's neither here nor there. The game is over. Put it behind the rearview mirror. But and Maxi, hit that what that three, and
Yeah.
then he tied it. And come to find out, which I was gonna I have a question about that that 2 minute report. But so yeah, and then it come to find out the 2 minute report, he traveled. But that does no good for either team. So what, at this point, why even, you know, involve the fan base in it, So someone said, oh, they should just it should just be known to the coaches and the players so they know how to play going forward. And I agree. What good does a 2 minute report does for anybody, even the
Right.
players themselves?
Right.
The game is won and is lost, on the fact of a missed call. And those calls potentially cause a game, which we saw in game two and in game five. But yeah, so he tied it, and then it was downhill from there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree with you with the 2 minute report. I'm not sure why are we coming out with that report after the fact.
Yeah.
when this is why the NBA has a replay that they're able to utilize throughout games. And I think it's a little frustrating just in general with NBA games. You'll find that the referees will like, I don't know if sometimes they like, if you watch, they like wait for the basket to go in and then they call the foul instead of just calling the foul on the initial contact. Unless it's dramatic fashion and the way that the contact happened, the foul happens and the contact itself, then you'll get the whistle automatically. But sometimes I think in instances like that, like as a ref, if you felt like you saw a travel, utilize your whistle. Coming out with a report after the fact is a bit silly to me, and I don't know why the NBA does that. We don't need a 2 minute report, a minute report, 30-second report. We don't care because it doesn't change anything at the end of the day.
Exactly. Quite frankly, I think they need to do away with it, or don't notify the fans. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
do
Keep that
away with it.
amongst
If
the
you ask
referee
me.
committee. Yeah, keep that amongst the referee committee and then you guys um re-intervene on that because that way you can say, okay, look, you guys missed this one or X, Y, and Z, whatever. I agree 100%. That doesn't need to be spread around for the Knicks itself. Okay, so we established what happened in the fourth quarter. It was a little frustrating. Actually, we're gonna even back up because before I even say, well, Mitchell Robinson fouled, and I'm not putting all the blame on Mitchell Robinson. I do think it was a silly foul. He didn't need to do that foul itself. Some fans thought that maybe Tibbs should have put in Precious or maybe did all of this, that, and the third. That's neither here or there. Like you said, it's over and done with. But even before that, Josh Hart missed the free throws. Now, this is the second game now that Josh Hart has missed crucial free throws. Not sure why he's not able to make them down there free. There's no one guarding him. But I'm a little concerned that Josh Hart is struggling to knock down the free throw when, I mean, damn, you can't give us a shot, but can you give us a free throw? Josh Hart, we're not asking a lot from you, but can you knock down a free throw, please? A 1 for 2? He can't even give you consecutive free throws when I'm not going to harp on that. But that's where the root of this started. Josh Hart missed the free throws. Mitchell Robinson fouled Maxey. Okay, now let's fast forward into overtime. Jalen Brunson knocks down a three. He hits a two. We go up by 5. Flatline from there. Why it went flatlined? Again, I said this on the last episode. I said I felt like Jalen Brunson was playing hero ball. He wants to shoot every freaking shot. And I love me some Jalen Brunson, but shooting every shot in the fourth quarter when you got other guys you could pass it to, this is not, I have trust issues like it was at the beginning of the season before we even
Yeah.
made the trades with RJ quickly and you didn't trust who you was going to throw it to and it had to been Randall and Brunson taking control over games. This is not that issue right now. Brunson did this the last game, and that was one of my biggest complaints that I had said. I said, why was he
For
take
sure.
felt the need to shoot every freaking shot? And then if you really watched in the overtime, Brunson he was bringing the ball down, chucking up shots, chucking up, and I was like, whoa, why don't you try to pass? Deuces right there, try to kick it, maybe kick it out to Josh. He can give us a three. He felt like, hey, I'm gonna just take it in my own hands and okay, so is it 5 against 1 or is it 5-on-5? And it just to me it comes off very selfish. I don't know if you watched that pregame interview that he did from SNY that I sent you earlier. He realized that he did that because he said it. He said, I don't remember verbatim what he said exactly. I didn't make my notation on that, but one of the reporters asked him, like, what do you think that you specifically can do differently? And they did ask him as a team what they could do, but they asked him, what do you think specifically that you can do differently that, maybe you did in the last game? And he said, well, one of the things he said something to the degree of like, I need to not take every shot. It wasn't verbatim his words, but basically like I need to try to look for my other teammates and look out and kick out the ball to them. But I just thought that, again, and you saying it, usually when Brunson says something, he does correct it. He did speak on how he said, one of the things he gave an example, he said, my dad doesn't call me after games. He said, we let the steam settle down. He said, and then we'll watch film together. He said, and then we'll correct my mistakes that I made. But again, you did this twice now in a series, right? Because what good is it that we know you could score 40, 47 points, but if you're not getting your other teammates involved, I don't care even if it wasn't an overtime and it was the last 2 minutes of the fourth. You can't play hero ball, especially if you're not knocking down the shots.
Yeah, I agree. And that was like some of my, the takeaways from that game five. Um, one, they lack communication. And they even said it, if you watch some of their post interviews, they did not communicate. Even Brunson said um, when Josh Hart, when he missed that free throw, they didn't communicate. He said coach told him, but he didn't communicate to the other guys. So again, there was a total lack of communication on the players' part. And the ball stopped moving. There was no
Yeah.
ball movement down the stretch. And lack of defense. Can we touch on that? And then, like you said, the lack of trust in your teammates. Like we know what you can do, what you're capable of doing, but you got to have that trust factor and know that I trust this my team that you made. Let's see if he could get us this last second shot. He chucked them all. Um, and then they had timeouts that they didn't utilize. So
Right.
so these were waste of, timeouts. You can't, they don't carry over to the next game. You got to use them now. So it was just like a total, just a collapse on their part. And that's what I say, as players and professionals, I truly believe that this game is behind them. They're professionals. They know what they have to do and correct those mistakes. And this is what's going to make them go even harder. And quite frankly, the pressure is on Philly because even if they do tie, they still got to come back to New York. So the more pressure is on Philly to get this game, especially with MB about, he was talking trash about the fans. So, the pressure is on them, but just like they got to communicate.
Yeah.
If you don't, because they can't read his mind and what he wants to do and what's his next move. And that when he threw away that possession to iHeart,
Hmm.
so again, it was just like a lack of communication. Hopefully they can fix these things um for tip off.
Yeah, I think right now what's hurting the Knicks is for sure the communication is number one. That's the biggest thing that's hurting them. I think they need to get back to that trust that they have with each other, because it seems to be like, I don't know, something just felt off even when I was watching a game. Like I don't know, something about that game. I didn't feel like and I don't, it wasn't necessarily the crowd's fault. I felt like the crowd couldn't even really get into it because the Knicks couldn't make a basket the first couple of minutes of the fourth quarter. Bonk, 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 brick. I said, well, can someone drive? And I'm telling you, we're gonna have a whole episode on this because I said this like months ago with the Knicks. As much as I love our role players, these role players that we have, none of them have that inside game. None of them don't have a game where they can drive, and that's part of their game. That's part of their repertoire. We have more, so our role players are more so the type of guys who are catch and shoot, right? So we don't have like that type of team who, when you really watch a Knicks game, the only player that's really going in, and I'll put a second runner up, is Brunson and OG, right? And no, I'll add Randall, but because Randall's out with his injury, but really you only have like three guys. And really it's two, because if Randall was here, it would be Randall and it would be Brunson who drives to the basket. And to me, I think at times, like, if the Knicks had guys who played like that, we could have won that last game.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
we we could have been beat this series out. And I think that that kind of hurts this Knicks team when you have one guy who he knows how to take the game inside, draw the contact, get the foul, he can knock down the free throws. We don't have enough players who can do that on this team. You know what I mean? And again, I think to some degree that hurts this team. And I think it hurts us not having a five position who can give you the points. Case in point, you and I were talking about this. Hartenstein scored the first six baskets of the last game. And I think part of that, one of those shots, the last basket that he made in that first quarter was he couldn't get the ball to anybody. He was holding the ball. He was at the free throw line. Again, drives me
No,
insane. Back to the basket. He's holding the ball. He's looking to see who he could throw the ball to. And then he finally just had to dribble because Embiid is like, well, he's not going to take the shot. So Embiid said, I'm going to stand closer to the basket. Hartenstein shot the shot and made it. I said, well, would you look at that? Try it. I'm not asking you to do that every time, but sometimes when you can't get that ball to Brunson, sometimes when you can't get that ball to Josh Hart or McBride, take the shot. You think Tibbs is going to sit you down for shooting those? Because we know you can make it. And I don't understand why Hartenstein doesn't do that more. He can become more of an offensive threat if sometimes he would take that close mid range shot closer to the basket. So I think the communication for sure has been an issue for this New York Knicks team, and the collapse on the communication side. I think defensively, we haven't even talked about that. This Knicks team is struggling to hold Tyrese Maxey. He had 46 points.
yeah,
And I remember I asked you, I think it was for game 3. I said, who's guarding Maxey? Because we were on the phone really quickly. And it seems to be Josh Hart at times. Well, most times guarding him. And then we had OG on him. And we both agreed that's not working with OG guarding him because Maxey's too quick. Maxey's quick. I'm gonna give it to him.
yeah,
He's very fast, but even Josh Hart, you're not exactly slow, and Josh Hart has great stamina. I think it goes to the way that they're guarding Maxey. And I think what I've been like harping on and I said I really want to see is you see how, again, I'm gonna say it again. You see how the way Batum Batum holds Brunson's arm when he's guarding him as Brunson's trying to come up the floor. It's not right. It's not how you play defense, but guess what? He's getting the job done.
and
Oubre doesn't really hold Brunson as much, but he stays on him. Anywhere Brunson move, he's moving with him. But for some reason, Tibbs hasn't resorted to that against Maxey. Why? Why are we? Why are you leaving Maxey? We leaving him space to even catch the ball. Maxey taking his time, a stroll down the park court, bringing the ball up the floor, and then he's passing it to Embiid. And Embiid, I got to give it to him. He knew he was off. He still had a triple double, but he passing it right back. And I think because Embiid told Maxey, if I'm not mistaken, he said, "Yo, I need your help out there." Maxey
well,
said, "Stay less." He went to work.
but not just that. They were so focused on and why are you so focused on stopping Embiid? Is for the life of me that they just lost the coverage for Maxi. I mean, because if you notice, they were doubling, Embiid in a lot of those possessions, and then what Embiid was doing, he was deferring to Maxi. He set those picks, and Maxi just got open
Each
and
time.
straight to the yeah. So I mean, you, they did this is game 6. If you haven't made the adjustment by now, I don't know what type of adjustment you can make. other than trying to contain Maxi, because you've seen what the Phillies doing. Phillies seen what the Knicks are doing. So it's like it seems like you made all the adjustments that you can possibly make. So now it's just a matter of you like focusing, and you hate to say just focusing on this guy right here, but let's face it, Maxi is carrying a team.
Yeah.
Because of Embiid is not 100%, and he know he's not 100%, so he's deferring to Maxi to carry them over, to carry them to the win. So that adjustment needs to be made. So fortunately they seem like they made all the adjustments, but apparently they didn't. And to chime in on what you said about OG, guarding him, I read stats, and um, when Mitch was guarding Maxi scored 35, and when Deuce is guarding was like 33, and then when iHeart, and believe it or not, the best
Maxi or
defender,
Embiid?
Maxi.
Okay.
Yeah, and excuse me if I said Embiid, but Maxi, and the best defender to guard Maxi is OG, because he was OG only allowed him like the 13 points, like when he was guarding him. I would like to see Deuce, but Deuce, he's unable to fight over those screens. So that's the drawback with that. So it's like, what type of adjustments are they going to make today? Because they've thrown, both teams have seen what they're doing as far as the adjustments. So, what adjustment do you think that they need to make for today's game? You know,
Well, I think no matter who on the Knicks is guarding Maxi, Embiid is so big and strong, it's hard to move past that screen. It's literally like running into a wall, and his screens are so strong and so solid. You're not getting past them. Whether it's Deuce McBride, it's OG, it's very hard to fight over those screens. And I have to give it to them. He sets really great screens.
oh yeah,
So Maxi's able to get the shot that he wants wherever he wants. But I think how do you make the adjustment is whoever's guarding him. I think the biggest issue that I'm seeing is that Tibbs is allowing his players to fall back and not do a full court press on Maxi. Philly is doing a full court press on Brunson. Brunson can't even bring the ball up most of the
uh,
time throughout the game, and that's the
yeah,
difference. The Knicks are not putting a full court press on Maxi. You're letting him. He's just casually bringing up the ball, like this is a pickup game at a local park,
just off the
and then
bat,
and a
boom, he
simple
just
layup because you're not making it hard for him. Just the same way we haven't made it hard for Embiid, you're not making it hard for Maxi. So if no one's putting that full, every time I was watching the last two games, I said, why is Deuce running back down the court? He's, backwards jogging back,
yeah,
allowing Embiid to come to him. OG, allowing Embiid to come to you. Why are we doing that? But yet you look at the way Philly, Batum won't even let Brunson get in the little, when they do the four guys in a line before they break. When we taking the ball out, he won't even let Brunson get in the line. He like, I'm getting in the line with you. I'm I'm getting on here with you. Whatever you doing, I'm doing too. And I don't understand that part of the adjustment is what I'm looking for from Tibbs. So even if you're gonna have Deuce McBride, if you're gonna have Josh Hart on him, if you're gonna have OG on Maxi, why are you not putting that full court pressure
exactly.
on Maxi? Instead, you're allowing him to bring the ball up. He's bringing the ball up, taking his time. We're not defending him. It's a little concerning, and I'm not
You
sure why
force,
Tibbs hasn't made that adjustment to force him to have to get that ball, make it hard for him to
yeah,
get that ball. And we're
or force somebody else
bring
to
the
beat
ball
you.
up. Right.
Yeah,
So I'm not understanding why we haven't made that part of the adjustment. I don't care who you put on them, but listen, allowing Maxi to come across half court and then he's throwing Embiid the ball. Embiid is kicking it out back to him. Then he's setting the screen. Then Maxi, boop, shooting a nice little a three. Or He's taking it right to the hole because he's going to work. Okay, that's going to happen. Sometimes he's just going to blow right past whoever's defending him because he's quick. But damn, can you give him a challenge? Because right now it looks way too easy for Maxi. He's doing layup line layups. It's too easy because there's no pressure defensively on him.
Yeah, no, it's not.
And Tibbs hasn't done that yet, not yet once this series. So it's okay for Philly to do it for Brunson, but Tibbs is not attacking back and saying, okay, well, we're going to do it to Maxi. Why? Why are you doing that? You already playing your guys 50 freaking minutes already. So you might as well just put the full court pressure on Maxi. Why are we allowing this man to bring the ball up and he's just dribbling it straight to the hole? It makes no sense to me. So I think the Knicks definitely need to make that adjustment defensively on Maxi. I would love to see if they put some kind of full court pressure on him. You don't need to double team him. But what I'm saying is, as time, I think maybe it could be situational the double team on him. But I think that if you're gonna have OG, Josh Hart, or Deuce guarding him, I don't even want to see him being able to just catch the ball right away. You gotta be on him like white on rice. For some reason, I watch Batum, and I'm like, damn, yo, Batum is so annoying. He's literally holding Brunson's arm when Brunson keeps swatting his arm away. But Batum is doing his job. As annoying as he is, annoying as Oubre is, they're doing their job defensively, making it harder for Brunson to even bring the ball across half court line. And speaking of that, I'm not sure why it's a little frustrating to watch when Brunson can't get the ball and then he has to tell Josh Hart, whoever, just bring the ball up. Why does he have to tell y'all that? Like, just do it.
Just do it.
The
Yeah.
focal point is too much like, yo, I got to get Brunson the ball. Bring the ball up. Why are you so concerned with getting Brunson the ball? Just bring it past half court. He'll be able to get free. Somebody has set a screen so he could get free. Don't panic.
It's speaking of when you said when you didn't tap in it, but do you think Precious is gonna play today?
Probably not because
And
Tibbs is gonna rock with Mitch and he's gonna rock
yeah,
with Hartenstein. If you ask me, he should rock with Mitch and Precious.
yeah. You mean you Mitch and Precious or
Yeah, instead of Hartenstein. Give
um
Hartenstein the lesser of the minutes, just because I think that Precious is playing Embiid better
oh
defensively
yeah.
than
Hmm.
Hartenstein. So that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
another
okay,
thing
yeah.
that you haven't seen in this series is Hartenstein hasn't even done any of those passes he's done. I've seen it maybe if a handful of times throughout the series so far. And it's
Hmm.
not because Philly's playing this great close knit defense where they're not allowing it. No one's also cutting. The Knicks are
Yeah.
making this series harder for themselves, if you ask me. It doesn't need to be this hard. They're really making it harder for themselves. So yes, if I would I would play, and again, Tibbs is not going to do it, but I would go more with Mitch and I would go with Precious more to defend Embiid.
Yeah, and I also like if he was a switch OG, to the five and bring in Precious because like in that game three, they play so well off of each other, and again, it's just like how the Nova boys.
Right.
Well, Precious and OG, you gotta remember they played together in Toronto, so they have that connection, and so Tibbs need to hone in on that some more because it
Mhm.
worked in game three. See, and that's what we say how Tibbs steer away from what's working.
Working. Yep.
And they did an awesome job on
Agreed.
MVP for game what was the game four because this is what six game four when they that Saturday
Hmm.
they I mean and you got to realize MB still is not healthy, and this is why he's deferring to Maxi because
He can't
he's
get to the.
limited.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
is so limited, and then you know um you gotta lock him down. You gotta put different bodies on him. Uh, Mitch did a good job, but I think there's times where he should have OG and Precious come in, but
We
let,
already
let,
know
let's
how Tibbs
let's
rock. I think with Tibbs, I don't know. Do you think you feel like with Tibbs is only good for getting a lifting a team up, or is Tibbs able to carry, we'll say in this case, the New York Knicks, who he's coaching, is he able to get the Knicks to that next level? I mean, he's brought them. He Tibbs is known as he rebuilds teams, he gets them better, but is he good enough to bring teams to the next level? Is really what I'm asking. Like, yeah, we know the Knicks went from a bad team, they became a better team. Also, that was help from the front office, Leon Rose, things like that. But I think coaching wise, is this the best that Tibbs could do for this team and get you to a first round, maybe a second round, or can Tibbs get you to the Eastern Conference Finals, a championship? Can he do that with a team?
I mean, I yeah, I think he can, but it's a part of me is like yes, and a part of me no, because he's so stuck on like this his rotation, he's not utilizing the guys that he has. But yet at the same time, because he's so defensive minded, that's also, a plus, for towards his coaching style.
Mhm.
So, but and definitely I want to say yes. And I believe that I believe that they're definitely gonna win this game because they know what's at stake. This is a game five they should have won. That's in the rearview mirror, so they know the intensity that's gonna come with this game. And just they're gonna clean up those mistakes, and so if Tibbs could get them out of, definitely out of this, this first, I
Right.
believe that, he can, definitely bring them to the Eastern Conference finals. So it's a yes and a no question. Yes, because of he's so defensive minded, and no, because he don't utilize, his rotation to the fullest. Because you got Precious sitting on the bench. That's an asset to you. Um, why not use him? And he only used him that day because Mitch was out. And I you
Because
so
Hartenstein got in foul trouble.
yes, and
Yeah.
Hartenstein was in foul trouble. You got an able body that can he show you what he's gonna do. Yeah, we're not gonna get a lot of offense off of him, but if you can defensively, if he can hold and be that extra, body on the court, why not?
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think that's something that does hurt Tib as a coach because even before we got into the playoffs, remember a lot of fans was like, yo, why Tibbs isn't rocking with Shake? Why you not giving him 5 minutes here and there? There was games where the Knicks was up by 15, 20 points in the fourth quarter. Tibbs was not even looking his way. I said, are you kidding me? Because, and again, I know I use him a lot as a example coach, but like Spolstra would put a player like Shake in. He would give him an opportunity in the playoffs because he would be like, "Yo, let me see what you could do. Come in." And next thing you know, a random guy who no one's expecting is coming in, chucking up shots, shooting threes, and knocking them down. And I agree with you. I don't think Tibbs utilizes guys like that. You honestly, I think even Shake a couple of minutes here and there would help them out. You never know who could be a spark off the
I'm gonna
bench.
give I'm gonna give you a point. Look at Philly. Look how they put that kid Cam in.
Pain.
Prime
Yeah.
example.
Mm-hmm.
And see, he's not normally in their rotation,
Right.
but because the coach says, okay, well, let me see if you can give us 9, 12 points. Because he lives on that perimeter. When they played, he hit three threes back to back.
Yep.
So like you
And
gotta
Chart
utilize
not
this.
respecting his shot. Camping there looking. Why? I
Yeah,
don't understand that with the Knicks. Well, this is the playoffs. Why are you not guarding the perimeter? I don't care who's shooting it. I don't care.
exactly.
When Bogdanovich got in, they wouldn't even allow him to shoot a shot. He barely was able to get them off. It's just because he's able to get the ball off his fingertips quick enough, he was able to get the shot off.
Yep.
But Tibbs, sometimes that can, to me, it can hurt a team, in our case, the New York Knicks, because it's a few things with Tibbs. He's stuck in his old ways.
Yeah.
He doesn't utilize his rotation to the fullness. And I get it, in the playoffs, a lot of teams go down to a seven, maybe 8 man rotation if you're lucky. But I agree with you. Like a guy like Precious, you got him sitting on that bench. Yeah, he misses easy layups right near the basket. We all hate that. It's frustrating. He's right there. Dunk it. Put it in with authority. But at the same time, I think that if you look at what he does defensively, he's giving you a little bit more than the guy you're rocking with. He's on at the level of giving you what Mitchell Robinson's giving you. And again, I don't take nothing away from Isaiah Hartenstein. I think he's doing a good job, but I don't think he's doing as good of a job defensively on Embiid as Mitchell Robinson is doing and what Precious Achua showed he could do. When Precious got in for those few minutes because iHeart was in the foul trouble, Mitch was hurt. The first defensive play he did, Embiid couldn't even get the shot that he wanted off. He had his hand straight up, and then he
Yep.
came. They went to Embiid again. Precious stopped him again, and then he had a block on Embiid's shot. And I'm like, well, Tibbs, it goes back to what you said. Why are you deferring from what's working? Why we? I don't understand. Do they like the hard way? I don't expect it to be easy, but why are you making it harder for yourselves to win this series and get out of the first round? It
Yeah.
makes no sense to me. And there's
They
plenty of teams in the playoffs who are up 3-2. I just think with the Knicks, it was heartbreaking because we all wanted to see them take it, finish it off, also do it at home at the Garden. And I just think that this team has to figure out, get back to that trust. I don't know why. I don't know why we can't figure out how to get off to a quicker start at the start of this game. I don't know if you noticed, but the last game it was very slow paced. It was a little like spacey. It was slow. I was like, I don't. And then it was killing me. It was so painful to watch how nobody was trying to say, "Let me take it in." Everybody was just chucking up shots. I said, oh, "Okay, this is how we starting the game off." Now they've redeemed themselves in the second. The Knicks outscored Philly, but the Knicks had that game because they were up by 6 before everything went down to crap. They were up by 6 points. So even if Maxi did hit that three, I, I just, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it was a horrible defensive collapse on their part, and that's why this game is pivotal for them. They know where their mistakes lie. Um, Lack of communication, slacking off on defense because this is what's gotten them to where they're at. So
Right.
that's why this game, again, it's pivotal, and I believe that they're gonna take this game in regard to whatever, Mr. Whoever it was, which I know you're gonna tap in on that, with the Philly fans, or rather the Nick fans outweighing the Philly fans. But outside of that, there's a few things that the Knicks need to hone in on. Devo's MIA, DiVincenzo, like, he has to get on track. I
Yeah.
mean,
Fast.
yeah.
Fast. Because
Oh
we,
yeah.
we we thought you was gonna get on track the last 2 games, and you still haven't woken up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. True, true. Still sleep in the doldrums. You know,
I thought that
getting
was Burks out there. I said, is that that's it? That Dante playing on Burks? What's going
yeah,
on?
he, like you said, he has to get on track and fast, and that clock is ticking. You don't have a lot of games left, and you definitely want to just close it out here. And you could do it.
Exactly. Exactly. I just think that you know, I just don't want to see those silly mistakes that the Knicks have been making. I wanted to share this with everybody. So Michael Rubin, who's the owner of the Sixers. So he bought 2,000 tickets for the home game on Tuesday at MSG. And then he bought 2,000 more tickets for tonight's game. So he said, I just bought more than 2,000 tickets for Sixers Game 6. We absolutely cannot let Knicks fans take over our arena again. Giving them to first responders, healthcare professionals, and other local Philadelphia-based organizations. Um, I'm not sure why they think that that has anything to do with, like, to me, that shouldn't matter. I don't think it matters for the Knicks. I don't think it matters for Knicks fans. Knicks fans travel wherever. The Knicks could be playing a team in Arizona. The fans will travel there. There'll be Knicks fans that used to live in New York and they have moved to Arizona and they're going to show up at the arena. You know what I mean? The Knicks could be playing a team in Alaska. Knicks fans will be there and they'll be showed up at the arena doing what they need to do. So I'm not sure what is this whole. And then you have Coach Dawn Staley. She said, I need the Wells Fargo Center full of Sixers fans. Season ticket holders, do not sell your tickets to Knicks fans. I repeat, do not sell your tickets. She said tickers, actually, to Knicks fans. Pour into our Sixers. We can really do this, Ish, man. Listen, I love the enthusiasm, and I get it. They want their fans at the arena. But Philadelphia has a lot of New York Knicks fans. They have a lot of New York Knicks fans. And at the end of the day, the Knicks have proven that they could win at the Wells Fargo Center. The Knicks have to remain in control tonight and beat Philly tonight and end this. Stop making this a back and forth thing. Just end it tonight. Handle business. End this series tonight so this way you guys can rest because round 2 is right around the corner. So again, Dawn Staley, Ruben, Mark, do whatever y'all need to do. Buy 4,000 tickets. I don't care who's in the building. You guys are professionals. You're out there getting paid millions of dollars to put the ball through the hoop, and you need to do just as that. So I'm hoping that tonight that we can see players like Josh Hart be a bit more aggressive. Dante DiVincenzo be a bit more aggressive. OG Anunoby has definitely stepped up, but I want to see him continue to be aggressive. Yeah. I want to see, I'm not even really expecting too much from Isaiah Hartenstein because he's still playing the same style of defense, but I don't know. I know Tibbs is going to rock with starting Hartenstein, but listen, Mitchell Robinson, continue to play that great Matador defense that you're playing against Embiid. Because if you notice, when Mitch is playing defense on Embiid don't pull that stunt like he does on Hartenstein.
No, he don't.
He has nowhere to go when Mitchell is on him. Somehow he's a bit more timid and he second guesses before he makes a move against Mitch. When he's on Hartenstein, he feels it's easy. It's a cakewalk because it's the way Hartenstein is playing the defense on him compared to the way Mitchell Robinson is defending him.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch is smothering him without getting a foul. And if you notice, Mitch is watching for Embiid to do that stupid swoop up the catch. So Mitch is not falling for that. I wish he wouldn't have fell for that maxi 3, but I digress. On his 2 big feet. But I want to see the Knicks, and I want to see Jalen Brunson not play hero ball. We don't need that tonight, Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Continue to do what you've been doing, but if it's at the end of the and this is why the Knicks don't need to allow it to get as close as 6 points, down to 4 points. 28 seconds is a lot of time. The Knicks proved that you was able to score on points in less seconds than that. So I want to see Jalen Brunson, if it is a close game down at the end of the game, pass the ball, please. Kick it out to Deuce McBride. And Deuce has been kind of off this series. His shot hasn't really been his mid-range has been working, but his 3 has been a little off.
Yeah.
His 3 has been a little off, but again, continue to keep shooting. We know he can knock it down, but pass the ball. And Josh Hart, stop being timid. Shoot the shot when you get the freaking ball.
and continue to try to fight over those screens. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
tall task, but you know what? Just continue to hustle. And again, with Embiid, his record, speaks for himself. He can't seem to get out that first round. So this is why the Knicks got to take advantage of that. He's like I think one and seven. He as far as just trying to get out that first round, wear him down. You know he's not 100%, but yet you also got to be cognizant of Maxi.
right.
Of a guy like that. You got to stick with him. Yeah, he's quick, but he's he can be stopped. All players can be stopped and or contained. And this is what they have to do. Like what can you do to stop or contain him? For me, the matchup. I would definitely like to see, OG if he's not, on the 4 to 5, Dior Maxi and or produce on him. Like those are the even DiVincenzo wasn't able to stay with him,
At all.
as quick as as a OG or either Deuce. He could be, if not stopped, he can be contained because those other games he had, one game he had like 23. So these are the things that that the Knicks have to be recognize and watch for someone trying to be that that X factor, whether it's Cam or Batum. Buddy Hill's been quiet. He may have a, although he didn't play, but when a player like that do come in, this is that that coach is looking for that spark off the bench. And so these are the
Exactly.
plays that they have to watch out for.
Exactly. Salute to the 100 Ultimate. He said Michael Rubin is a great general manager for doing that, in my opinion, just supporting his team. Yeah, I think it's a great
Oh,
thing
yeah,
that
yeah.
he's doing for sure. Like the Knicks management would never do that because unfortunately it's the Garden and ain't no tourists, celebrities. People are gonna buy the tickets
No,
regardless.
we sell out. Yeah, and they still had like tickets available, and their tickets aren't as expensive as the Garden.
Right.
I heard like their tickets was going selling for like two and some check, like 268, where though the tickets in the Garden is selling for like 600 or better. Those same in the same section. So yeah, that's a great marketing employee, and quite frankly, they should have been, did that. Where's their radio station? They aren't giving away tickets or something for contests. So I mean, these stuff they should have been there. Hey, I'm not mad at it. It's they need that support because again, Philly's what 90 minutes away, and
Yeah.
you got people that get on that 95, and then you got other people that just live in the area that
Hmm.
they're just Knicks fans. So I'm not mad at it either. But it's kind of sad
Yeah.
though. But hey,
No, it is, but what are you going to do? You can't hope that New York fans are everywhere. They travel, like we said. But regardless, I think it'll make it even sweeter for the Knicks to beat them on their home floor. Um, and like I said, I think the biggest thing is the Knicks are still in control, being up 3-2, but the Knicks have to keep in control and end this series tonight. No more playing any games. I don't want to see any silly, stupid mistakes at the end of the game where one person moves this way, the ball goes out of bounds. I thought we got that out of our system, but apparently not, because there's a big issue with communication on this team. Within the last two games, there's been an issue with communication. Um, and I think if, like I said, going back to it, Brunson passing the ball, the Knicks are a lot more successful when they play unselfish basketball. When they
yeah,
make the extra pass, even when a guy is open, but he kicks it out one and gives it one more pass, and we catch whoever's in the corner, we are way more successful when we do that. Um, and I think guys just need to keep their head up too. There was a few times where I saw Mitchell Robinson was open in that last game. I was like, wow, he was wide open. And at one point, I don't know if you heard, Josh Hart was going, woo, woo.
yeah,
And then Brunson hit him. And then he was like trying to tell him, like, yo, I'm wide open. But I'm like, guys, look up. Mitch is open. If they hit him, Mitch, I'm telling you, and B can't guard him because he's hurt. He don't have any lift. Feed him
Yeah.
the rock. For some reason, I don't know, some reason he's not really guarding Mitch, but he's on Hartenstein. Except when Hartenstein is more towards the free throw line, he's leaving Embiid is leaving Hartenstein open, I guess, because he's like he's not going to shoot it, which he's not. He's not even really contesting Isaiah Hartenstein floater shot when he was doing that successfully. He didn't really do that much the last game, but if he has that open, take it. So I just want to see guys just be more aggressive this game. I think the Knicks got to be way more aggressive. Play hard but play smart. Let's stop making this series and these games harder for ourselves. Let's just end this tonight. I'm tired of having to see. I'm really getting tired of seeing us having to play Philadelphia too. I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm ready to
Same
move
here.
on next. I'm tired of
Like,
this
like,
back and forth banter. It's just like let's end it tonight and let's move on.
like you said, just that extra pass, it makes a world of a difference.
Yeah.
Just that ball movement.
Exactly. That's one of the keys to success. And to stop Maxi, I think the Knicks need to go with more of a full court pressure on whoever's guarding him. So
Yeah.
whoever's taking turns guarding him, I would like to see someone more not allowing Maxi to come to them, and then he's blowing right past you towards the basket to get a nice easy layup. That's not working. You know what I mean? So I think the Knicks have to put more of that pressure on guys. I don't want to see guys getting, and then even like you said, Cameron Payne, respect his shot. He's hitting that same awkward shooting looking free three pointer that he shoots because he shoots the ball really weird. Um
That's it. Yeah.
Guard him. Josh Hart was watching him. He was doing this and watching the ball go to the back. I said, why are you watching him? Do you not are your arms tired? You gotta guard him. You can't allow. He was watching him. Cameron Payne was just shooting, and Josh was doing this, watching the ball go to the basket. I said, "Are you serious? You can't be for real. You can't be for real." I'm gonna tell you one thing though. This series shows people why they miss Randall.
Oh, for sure.
This proves why the Knicks miss Julius freaking Randall
Yeah.
because they don't have nobody else who could get that ball and play that bully ball, who can get you them rebounds and go back up strong and put that ball back in. Guys who could shake and bake like Brunson could do. They don't have nobody else who could do that. We just have role players who are catch and shoot, and we miss a player like Julius Randle. And quite honestly, I told you this over the phone, and we're gonna have a whole episode about this. The Knicks need to look into acquiring at least one or two other guys who are playmakers in case you have your two main who may suffer an injury at some point who can do that same thing. Because let's take Brunson out of the equation. I don't think the Knicks would have gone that far.
Oh, please, yeah. And on the flip side, now had Randall been in there, it's a possibility they would have swept Philly. I mean, and
Yeah,
that's my personal take because you have somebody that could bang down low. And with Embiid being injured, he can't jump. So he potentially he would have possibly fouled out a game or two.
exactly.
Him trying to defend Randall because Randall is such a big, strong, athletic player, and B's trying to, guard him possibly. So he could have gotten foul trouble. And again, with Randall just being down low and playing that physical ball, that would have that's a world make a world of difference in my opinion. So and you got a lot of people that there was a lot of things they said about Randall that wasn't too nice because of his playing style. But these are the times where you miss it. And like I said, if because you got Philly has a 1-2 punch, Max and Embiid. When
And
when
they
I when I
have
look
one.
at everybody's they Max and Embiid and Brunson, so it's just Brunson's by himself.
Hmm.
So Randall, as much as people didn't like his style or how he played and this and stuff, but he would have made a world of difference. So
And no one on Philly could guard Randall. Whenever we
exactly.
played Philly, Randall would have his way. He's
Yeah.
too physical. He's too strong. And that's what kind of makes me be like, dang, man, when you watching this series, I'm like, yo, and you hit the nail on the head. The Knicks just have Brunson. It's no disrespect to none of the other guys. I think they do what they do in their own right well, but the Knicks don't have a 1-2 punch. It's Brunson trying to take the load of two players because he's having to take some of that load of what Randall would have been doing. And it's just, like I said, it is what it is. There's nothing we could do to turn back the hands of time on that. But I don't know. I think tonight, if the Knicks can, hopefully Hartenstein and Mitch don't get in foul trouble early. And if they do, put Precious Achua in. We know he can guard Embiid.
Yep.
Somehow when Embiid goes against Mitch or Precious, he ain't doing them slick slide easy moves he does against Hartenstein. Hartenstein is no match for him. Embiid is like, yo, I got this. When he goes against Hartenstein, it's easy, 1, 2, 3, easy peasy. He just, and he knows he's gonna get Hartenstein in foul trouble. So I just want to see the Knicks be able to play through, you know, and also if the Knicks can try to, the Knicks have yet to capitalize on getting guys in foul trouble on Philly. I think the only one who was in foul trouble the last game was Kyle Lowry. Otherwise
Yeah.
than that, Maxey and Embiid cruising,
Yep. He had 5 fouls.
cruising and bruising at the same time with their shots because nobody's attacking. Josh Hart is attacking, but the problem is it's the way he's driving. His drives are so readable and predictable that either the ball
Mhm.
is getting swatted or it's like he's running into a brick wall, or the ball is bouncing off his knee, bouncing off his chest, going out of bounds. But I think that I agree with you. DiVincenzo has to step up. We need something else besides 2, 3 3-pointers. That's not enough. It's not enough. Like, I'm gonna need to see a little bit more. Yeah, it's nice if you give us a nice dunk in a game, but that to me is not a complete game from you. Like you've shown that when Randall first went out, DiVincenzo was holding us down.
Yeah.
This is not the time to sit back and get. Where are you at?
You fade in the background. We need you up in the forefront. We need some production.
I remember I had asked you. I said, "Oh, do you think anybody on the team is gonna fade away?" And you was like, "No, I don't see that happening." We both agree. We was like, we don't see Deuce doing that because when Deuce used to get 3, 4 minutes in a game, five, Deuce will come in and chuck up shots. He's like, "Yo, I'm scoring tonight. I'm gonna get a steal tonight." But I'm a little surprised with Dante DiVincenzo. Like, I don't even think it's just that he's off. He's just like he's kind of disappeared. I'm like,
Yeah. And it's concerning because, he's needed. This is we need him. This is crucial. So it's like, whatever funk he's in, he's needed desperately.
yeah, salute Parish Duggar. He said if Tibbs only plays 7 guys, we can't win. Yeah. I think it's also like, I don't know, to some degree, like overtime hit, guys were winded on the Knicks. You know who didn't look winded? Maxie.
Oh,
Maxie looked like it was the start of the first quarter. I said, wow, what kind of IV did they give him when he wasn't feeling well? That he's super charged up. He had all this energy. But this is what we were talking about at the beginning of this episode, Parish. We were saying how, with Tibbs and his lack of utilizing all the guys on the bench can hurt the Knicks as a whole, as a team, So you only bringing in what, Mitch and Deuce off the bench?
yeah. That's not gonna suffice. Yeah.
I think you could roll with a 9-man rotation. And they only have the other guys suited and booted in case somebody gets hurt.
Well, even if you go
Well,
8,
technically it was 8 because it was Bojan. So it was
yeah.
8. So
Mm-hmm.
technically, no, you're right. It was an 8-man rotation, so it moved down to 7. But I just think that yeah, I don't know, because we say all of this and then you watch the game at 9 o'clock, 9:10, exactly when tip off happens, and you're gonna see the same guys come in substitute as a substitution, and so we'll see. I saw it in one of the timeouts. Tibbs said, "Oh, he said, settle down, settle down." So you talking to dogs here, or you talk? I mean, we know the Knicks could be dogs, but I was like, what's the game plan? It can't just be settled down. I mean, yeah, you got to settle down because at one point it seemed like the Knicks were just running back and forth up and down the court. They needed to regain composure. I understand that. But I think that the Knicks are gonna need more production from those other role players tonight, and it can't just fall on Brunson. Because Brunson could give you 40, 45, 50 points, but if it doesn't result in a win,
What good is it?
exactly. Exactly. So he said Dante's shot selection is hurting him. Whenever the Knicks have a 6 point lead, Tibbs gotta rest Brunson some. Yeah, I think the problem with that is the trust factor, and when he goes to the bench, who's scoring? Because it's just like when Embiid goes to the bench, the Knicks are able to capitalize because no one on Philly is doing anything. And then when Brunson goes to the bench, it's the same thing. No one from the Knicks is really doing anything to capitalize to try to take advantage. So at some point, I agree. Yes, Brunson's going to need to get a breather. But that's where I say those other role players have to step up. Dante, step up. OG, keep being aggressive. Step up while he's on
Mhm.
the bench. Josh Hart, step up and knock down some. Can you knock down one free throw tonight, Josh Hart? Come on. He's got to knock him down tonight. I don't want to see you missing free throws. It's like it's a little ridiculous at this point. Cut it out with that crap, missing the free throws, and they're free. But yeah, tonight's. I'm really looking for the Knicks to close it out. I was hoping they would have did it yesterday, but I'm
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Excuse me. Um,
I'm a
Brunson gotta be. Doesn't matter. Brunson gotta be fresh for fourth quarter. Yeah, he's got to be fresh, and also he got to pass the ball. Hero ball is not winning us these games. So the Knicks, either way, they just have to win this game. You don't need, because if Philly wins tonight, you don't have control anymore. Now your back is against the wall. Handle business tonight while you still have control of the series. Beat
Yep.
them on your floor. You've done it already, and get this over with. End it tonight. No more of this back and forth crap. Salute to the chat, Dwayne Wilson, for joining us tonight. Tarsha Carrington, our peoples in the chat, for always showing love. Wonder Woman always tuning into us as well. Jay's Burrs. I've seen Jay's Burrs in other chats. So salute to you for joining us. We appreciate it. The 100 Ultimate, salute to you for joining us as well. Corey Lee from the 718 Boys with the Z at the end. Check them out every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. They're under the Blood Orange Tears channel. Salute to Uncle Freezy as well. Salute to Johnny Davis. Tekla Roy William Frankson. Wow. Salute to you for joining us as well. Thank you for watching. TJ Hannah Blue, salute to you. I've seen you here in the chat as well before. Jeff Wood, salute to you for joining us and watching as well. Appreciate you. Genergy, I like that name. She said, yes, let's go Knicks. Of course. Thank you for joining us as well. Joe Curry, salute to you for joining us. And Paris Jugger, always in the chat, joining us and watching us. Appreciate everybody for joining us tonight. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Steph is on tonight. She has a show. So I'm sure you guys are going to hop over to their chat and enjoy that show tonight. And yeah, let's all, bond together and get this win tonight. And let's end this series against Philly.
I'm a channel my Randall's energy. We don't play with our food.
Right, right. New
Let's
York
go
Knicks
Knicks.
need to let Philly know. We here, as Randall would say. We here. Philly, we here. So yeah, let's get this game over with. I want to see the Knicks capitalize, get the win, however and whatever capacity that may be. You know what I mean? A win is a win, even if it's. I hope it doesn't come to a close game. If the Knicks can get a nice 8 point lead in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth, and
Keep saying
maintain
that.
it, Just hold on to it. Don't do no silly fouls. Don't start playing out of character or deviating from what's working. Just play through it. We know Philly's gonna play dirty. Don't think Embiid cooled off because he didn't really do nothing much the last game. He's gonna play dirty regardless. We know how he plays. Um, Salute to 90. He said we need to get up to a good start early. Yeah, they can't afford a slow start. The Knicks cannot afford a slow start. And that's been a problem this entire series. The Knicks have started off so slow. Didn't I say I didn't want to look up and the score be 22-4? And
Yep.
the first six, what was it like? The first six baskets, we didn't even knock them
Yeah.
down.
It did Tibbs call a timeout. He looked so stressed, man. He was
Yeah,
like,
Tibbs be so annoyed. You could tell he be. You ever see him when he's like, "My goodness," say his hands across, or he's like, "Are you kidding me?" Because it's like, I don't blame him. You guys did shoot around. You shot around early in the day. You do shoot around before the game starts. Why was no one able to knock down a simple basket? But again, this is why I get frustrated with the Knicks. Stop settling for shots. Take the freaking ball inside and knock down a layup. Get a dunk. Get an easy basket off the backboard. Stop relying on jump shots. Stop relying on threes. We're making this series and the games within this first round series harder for ourselves. Take the ball inside, for God's sakes. Take it inside. Stop relying on the jumpers. There's a such thing as driving into the lane. And guess what? If you don't make it, you get fouled while trying. Embiid has no lift. He's gonna foul you. You see how his big fat hand came across Brunson's face? He's gonna do the same thing to the rest of you because he can't move his feet. Come on. I don't know about Burks. I think that's called for desperation. Anthony 212, he said we need to expand the rotation with Burks or Shake. I'll take Shake before I take Burks. Because Burks has been horrible. As Ajay would say, he's been stinking up the joint. He's done nothing for this team. He's done
exactly.
nothing. And then for what? For him to bring the ball up to have it get stolen? Laurie's gonna have an easy picking party with him. He's gonna be like, huh, they should have never did that. Laurie's 38, but ain't playing like he's 38.
Nah, no, not at all. He's a
And his
better.
veteran experience is showing on a team. So you don't want to put Burks on that floor. I promise you that, Anthony 212. You're gonna regret it. It's gonna drive you to drink tonight.
Yeah.
We're trying to avoid the trauma from the past, all the previous years, the trauma from last year. We don't need Burks driving us to not winning this game. No, I'd rather take Shake before I take Burks. But unfortunately, Tibbs is not going to play Shake. He didn't even want to give Shake minutes during the regular season when we were up by 15, 20 points in some games. Don't
Mm,
understand that, but this is something that we were trying to get at. That as a coach, sometimes that hurts Tibbs not utilizing his rotation till its fullest. I'm not saying you have to play every guy. And again, I'll say it again. I know that in the playoffs, rotations shorten to 7, 8, barely 9. Most teams do that. But I just think that in the Knicks case, with Tibbs being a coach, it hurts them because you look at a coach, like I said earlier, like a Eric Spoelstra, he'll play a player like Shake and give him a couple of minutes and say, come on, let me see what you could do and be a spark off the bench and give us a little something because, maybe we're not getting it from other players. So I need them to have a 10-point lead in the fourth. Yeah. And have a 10-point lead and maintain that lead.
if this could be larger than that, the larger the better.
Agreed. Agreed. We know that both Embiid and Maxi are going to score, but I think you can't allow Maxi to score 40 plus points. I think you need to try to hold them to 30 each. If you can get Embiid at 20 to 23 points, even better. But if you can hold Maxi to 23, 25, even better.
Yeah.
Because Embiid was off the last game. So think OG should start guarding Maxi early in the game. Yeah, that's what Diva Locks was saying. I agree with that. My thing is what I was saying, 90, is I think whether it's OG, it's Deuce guarding Maxi, I think they need to put a full court pressure on Maxi. Because if you look at the way Batum and Oubre is guarding Brunson, Brunson can't even bring the ball up because Nick Nurse don't even want Brunson bringing the ball up. So for some reason, Maxi, we're allowing him to bring the ball up. He's able to kick the pass, whether it's a bounce pass, chest pass to Embiid. Embiid is kicking it back. Embiid is setting that solid screen. Corey Lee said they're moving screens. Some of them are, but it doesn't matter. He's a big brick wall. It's hard to fight over those screens when Maxi is setting those screens on
Yeah,
the doing the pick and roll movement, and they're basically living vicariously through Maxi. He's their leaderboard, and what he's doing all the work and all the majority of the scoring for them. So I think that OG guarding Maxi, he really needs to apply a bit more pressure on him and make Maxi work to get the ball. Don't allow him to just catch it wherever he catches it on the floor and then he's zooming right past you to go for the easy layup. You know what I mean? He's going to get past you at times throughout this game, yes. But I think that OG needs to apply better pressure on him. And just the same way Mitch has done on Embiid. OG has done on Embiid. You got to do that to Maxi. Don't allow him to come to you. You made it too easy for him. That's why Hartenstein struggled against Embiid. He was allowing Embiid to come to him. You got him. You saw how OG was guarding him?
yeah.
Front defense, hand out in front, denying him from catching the ball. You got to do that with Maxi. Batum holding, watch tonight, chat. Batum is going to be holding Brunson's arm. If you got to do that so that you could stay with him. Yes, he's quick and sometimes he's going to get past you, but you got to make him work to get that ball. Y'all just allowing Max. He like this. He catching it. He doing his little dribble between the leg and he going right past everybody. What's going on, y'all? Looking like a layup line. Can we apply some pressure on Maxi tonight? And I hope Tibbs is allowing the OG or whoever's guarding Deuce do that. I don't want to see Deuce backwards running to set up and wait for Maxi to come to him. And then once he gets over the half court line, now you want to guard him too late. He already calculated what he's going to do.
That's what they say. Yep.
You gave him a chance to figure out, all right, I'm gonna run this play, I'm gonna pass it, man, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go over here, I'm gonna go over there.
His offense is already set on what he's planning on doing.
It's too late. He said, Anthony 212 said, I want to see more offense with pick and rolls and getting Embiid to be forced to defend. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, Embiid, we haven't made him have to work defensively. And that's another problem. That was something else that Diva Locks had brought up. And the Knicks honestly really haven't been running the pick and rolls. What we doing is we picking, but our centers are not rolling.
And not rolling.
They're not. They're picking and they're not rolling. So what's happening is they're setting the pick, and the pick is really to set Brunson free. So Brunson's either shooting or he's driving and going to work and, doing what he do best. The Knicks are not capitalizing on that. Expect maxi doubles and force someone else to beat you. Joel can barely stand. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Force somebody else to beat you.
90 said, who y'all X Factor for tonight?
Is that for the Sixers? Um I think they're gonna either go with try to Batum or either what's the kid that shoot that Cameron Payne. For the Knicks, I'm definitely looking for Deuce to have a solid game. I definitely and I'm rooting for DiVincenzo as well.
Right.
Those two, if they could just get off to a good start. But I think for the Sixers, I think they're gonna, Batum's gonna definitely try to chuck us some shots and that Payne if he gets some playing time. Because he's another one. He comes in and he just shoots. He's like a deuce. He comes in, he starts
We do.
chucking up
He don't
shots.
waste no time. And you could tell Nick Nurse didn't want that. He's like, you could see Nick Nurse like, that's not what I wanted, but I'll take it because he made it. But he
Yeah,
didn't, he reminds you of like quickly would just come in and chuck up shots. And you're like, it's not what I wanted you to do, but whatever. We'll take it because you made it. But that's not really what I wanted when you got out there. But Cameron Payne, he's just going to chuck up shots. I think Josh Hart needs to be prepared and stop watching him shoot them shots. Guard him and respect his shot because he's making them. He's making those threes. He hasn't gone on a plateau and quiet like you have, Josh Hart, and not making the threes. He's actually making them. Respect the shooter. I think X factor for me on Philly, definitely. I don't know. It could vary. To me, it could be Batum, it could be Laurie, it could be Payne. I think one of those three guys could for sure be the X factor that can randomly come alive and give Philly a little something else. Because Tobias Harris is like overpaid, and I don't even know why he gets paid all that money. He doesn't even really do anything for them at all. He's been with them years and hasn't really stood out and done anything for them. And Philly doesn't really have anybody. They mainly rely on Embiid and Maxi. But I think you do have to watch out for the X factor for them being either Laurie, Payne, or Batum, or maybe even Oubre. He could come alive and all of a sudden start giving you, points. And then for the Knicks, I'm going with either Dante or Deuce. But I feel like if it's not one of those two, I'm hoping it's Josh Hart and he could get his stride back tonight. But I'm really hoping it's between one of those three guys who can come in and, you know, just go off. Knock down threes, just go off tonight and give us what we need. But I think Deuce, keep finding him, hit him, and Deuce is gonna knock down them shots. What I like about Deuce is he doesn't give up. One of the games, I think it was game 2 or 3, Deuce came in, his first shot was an air ball. He didn't get down. He didn't lose
nope.
confidence. He came in, knock down a mid range. He came in. Deuce stays the course. So I'm not worried about Deuce. I just think we need to be able to find him and kick that ball out to him. He's gonna knock down those shots. I would love to see Deuce be the X factor. If not him, Dante. I would love to see Dante really give us something else besides 2 3 pointers and a possible highlight dunk. It's not enough. Um, and then if not, I mean, OG's been stepping up. So I think OG's been using that. OG does that nice when he dribbles down low and then he turns around, he creates the space for himself and then he shoots the shot. He does that really well. They can't defend that. So, I think OG's going to have to continue to apply the pressure and be aggressive and take the ball inside.
And also get out in transition too. I like what he does. He's quick. He's a lot of floor spacing. He's able to beat the defender, just the offense. He gets those steals. So I would like to see a lot of transition balls too with the Knicks. Yeah, that means
Yeah,
they're
good
getting
point.
out. You
Good
know.
point. I think they have to be careful though, because again, I've seen where OG, Josh Hart, and Devo have tried to drive, and then Embiid is just blocking their shot. Not even he's just like standing there with his hand, and again, because he can't move, and he's just like shutting them down. And I'm like, y'all gotta either look to kick it out, or you have to come differently towards the basket on those drives, because he's reading y'all moves and the way you come into the basket. So I think that, that's something else that they definitely have to, work on tonight. But we'll see. Again, I really think the Knicks are gonna need both Josh Hart and DiVincenzo to step up. Give Brunson a little break. Not that he's gonna take a break, but give allow him to have a little less pressure on his shoulders tonight. Because Brunson, his mentality is he's like, yo, I gotta get us this win. I truly
Yeah.
think that's how Brunson's thinking. He's like, yo, I gotta get us this win. I gotta take us to the next level. Because that's how his mentality was when we was in round 2 against Miami. But you need other guys to contribute. I appreciate the hustle. I appreciate the defensive hustle. You diving in for a ball. But I think, like you said, if you give us 10, 12 points, that also is a nice contribution as well. You know what I mean? Like you got to help out with. We need points. Points is also what helps you gather a lead. It helps you win a game. Yeah, the defensive efforts are nice, but we need offensive contributions from other guys that are role players on this team, who could help out. So I think the Knicks are gonna need more than 2, 3 guys in double figures. You're gonna need it. And apply the pressure to Maxi. Don't allow him to come to you. Don't wait till he gets past the half court. And we'll see what happens. Exactly. Hit that like button, guys. Hit the like button. Yeah, I agree. When the defense tightens up, we do win. Philly, and there's been a few times, if you noticed in the games, last game and the game before last, where the Knicks put such pressure defense on Philly that they had a shot clock violation. I said,
Oh
apply
yeah.
that pressure the whole game. How you gonna do it one play? Come on. You do it once or twice in a game. Are you tired? You gotta apply that and stay. Put your foot on their necks and don't let go. The Knicks did that at least once or twice throughout 2 or 3 games throughout this series. And I said, wow, that was an excellent defensive effort by the
Mhm.
entire team. Wouldn't allow anybody to put up a shot or drive anywhere. The paint was covered. Guys couldn't get off a 3-point shot. Shot clock violation. But you have to do it more. You got to apply that defensive pressure the entire game. It can't be for a short situational. It can't be situational. You got to make up your mind. So he said for the Knicks to win is simple. Just play hard, solid defense, and Jalen Brunson has to score 45 points. I don't even think you really need Jalen Brunson. Do you think he needs to score 40 plus points for them to win? Or do you
Not
think
if,
that's
not
where the
if
other
other
guys need to step up?
if everybody step up hard, DiVincenzo, OG continue to play aggressive. Hypothetically, if Jalen was to give us, let's say, 35, and DiVincenzo gives us 25, and even Josh Hart gives us, 15, and with the rebound, OG's contributing 17. Who knows? He may have a 20-point night. So I mean, not if everybody step up and just play as a cohesive unit,
Right.
he may not have to give us 45. But now again, the flip side is if DiVincenzo's off, because like Eddie said, he's streaking. He's not hasn't been consistent.
Mm-hmm.
He has to pick up that slack when we're
Right.
DiVincenzo. So, it's so twofold with that. If DiVincenzo's off, because those are potential, 25, what he was giving us in the regular season. Those points they add up, and those could be the deciding factor for the win. So,
And it can also help take some of the defensive pressure off of Brunson to some degree because if they see
yeah.
guys like Josh Hart, Deuce, DiVincenzo going off, shooting them balls and making them in, now they Philly got to be like, hold on, we got to watch out for these other guys because they're knocking down shots. They didn't really respect Josh Hart when he was shooting and making them. Nick Nurse said, let him shoot because he must knew he was gonna cool off. Now
Hmm.
tonight, can he heat back up and light it back up? I'm really hoping so. And like you said, I'm hoping that Dante could help and contribute points wise. So no, the whole team should step up. Yeah, the whole team definitely needs to step up. And we do. We do need a team effort tonight. When the Knicks play unselfish basketball and they play as a team and make the extra unselfish passes, the Knicks are a lot more successful. And it shows throughout this entire season that they've been a lot more successful. So, oops. So another key is less turnovers and hit free throws. Yeah.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. The Knicks definitely have to watch the turnovers. Um, yeah, the last game, the Knicks had 16 turnovers. Philly had 14. Philly had 10 steals, New York had 5. And the free throws, the Knicks were 13 for 19, 68%. Excuse me, they were 16 for 24. And I flip flopped it. We had 14 turnovers. Free throws, the Knicks was 16 for 24 at 66%.
No, we had 10 steals and they had 5.
Yeah, I flip flopped it. I was trying to go
Yeah.
back and read it. Yeah, because usually the Knicks stats are on the left. They had it on the right.
Hmm. Because some active hands. As I said, you gotta have active hands, man.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't even know what to say about the free throws. It started off good because Hartenstein hit his 2 free throws. And then I think he had another 2 he made or another one he made. And then
Downhill from here.
yeah, it went downhill from there. It's streaky. Because at one point, didn't even Brunson, I don't know if it was on a challenge call or a foul.
Brunson missed. Didn't he miss? Did he miss 2 or he just I
He
know
missed,
one.
there was one he missed that was like the foul, I don't know what kind of foul it was, but he had the one free throw he took where it was just him at the free throw line. He missed it. And then he had another one where he missed it. So, and then Josh Hart, 2 games now, the last 2 games, he's missed 2 crucial free throws. And then Mitchell Robinson missed 2.
Oh yeah.
5 right there. 5, 6 free throws. That's the ones that you missed. So
Yeah.
the Knicks have to get off to a strong start. We'll see what happens tonight. I'm looking for the Knicks to bring high energy. Um, I don't want to see the Knicks play a half court game, which is what Philly likes to play. I want to see the Knicks play their style, run and gun, get down the end of the court, get easy transition baskets if we can, and yeah, take advantage and capitalize on getting players on Philly in foul trouble. Get Embiid and Maxey in foul trouble early if you can, and it'll make it easier because then they'll have to sit. Even though Nick Nurse is not going to sit them with 2, 3 fouls, he's going to continue to play them.
Oh yeah, for
You
sure.
have you have to try to get them to keep getting fouls throughout the game. So tonight's tonight. The Knicks have to remain in control, stay in control, and win tonight's game. We don't. I don't even want to think about the Knicks taking this to another game. Just end it tonight, so this way you can try to get some rest, which they should have done already. But I'm betting on the Knicks winning tonight and ending this game. Like you said where the Knicks know what they need to do. They're professionals. I want to see that correlate on the floor, and the Knicks leave it on the floor and just don't let up. Play hard, play smart. Don't make this game harder for yourselves and just put Philly away. They're not the better team, but stay in control because if you don't, now you're going to allow them to really truly believe we are the better team. So tonight is the night.
For sure.
The
Let's
Knicks
go.
fans will be louder than game 4. Yeah. Oh, they will be. They're going to be in the building. He only brought 2,000 tickets.
Exactly.
That
Thank
ain't
you,
enough.
Stephen.
And the Philly is 1-13 when they're down. I think it's 3-2 in a series. Now,
Mm,
granted, Embiid wasn't there for all of those different playoff series, but still. So we'll see. Anything else for you before we get out of here?
nope. Like Julius Randle said, we don't play with our food. Let's go Knicks.
Exactly. Exactly. Everybody enjoy the game tonight. I'm gonna go hop over and watch a little bit of Steph. I don't know who's on. Can you see who's on? I don't know if it's
No,
Steph, Jeff, and Ajay. I'm assuming is on.
probably
So
so.
I'm gonna watch a little bit of those guys on that podcast. Check it out under the Nothing But Knicks podcast. I don't know if it's under Nothing But Knicks or if it's under her channel. Because I know she said she's not going on. So there's no Friday show tomorrow. Those of you who watch stuff on Friday nights, she's not doing a show tomorrow. So you got to catch her tonight. Um, once Diva Locks let me know, we could send you the link.
Yes, AJ and Jeff.
It's under Nothing But Knicks or her channel.
Uh, her channel, Dope Soul Sports and Knicks Talk. It's under her channel.
It's just her, AJ, and Jeff.
Yeah.
I sent it to you, Tarsha. That's the name of her channel. Yeah, so we're gonna hop over, watch some of Steph's content. I'm sure they're gonna go to right before game time. And yeah, we'll be watching the game like the rest of you and seeing what happens tonight. Looking forward to a win. So until next time, everybody, as always, thank you for joining us. Have a good evening. And hopefully this kicks off us starting a nice start to our weekend. So until next time, everybody, peace, enjoy the game.